I think Vincent Kompany comes in.
He's had probably, 300 good performances for City, and that's his only bad one I've seen. He played centre midfield, and he was awful. He couldn't control the ball. He'd had an injury of his toe, and he had like his boot. His toe was sticking out of his boot. So every time he sort of touched the ball, it was hurting his toe. He had a stinker, but it was because of his toe.
Micah Richards was England's youngest ever defender. He went on to have a fabulous career with Manchester City, coming out of the academy, 245 appearances. He won an FA Cup, he won a Premier League. He had 4 seasons at Aston Villa where he had to retire young due to a knee injury. He now is the second best pundit on TV and radio behind me. This is Sutton's Big Games with Micah Richards. So you went into Manchester City, I think it's fair to say, in a good team, a capable team.
Yes.
But then you became part of a great team. What was the turning point, and when did it change for you to take City to another level?
I think it was in 2008 was the investment, I believe. We sat down with Khaldoon, who's the chairman. There's Brian Marwood as well, and they just had a 10-year plan. They said, in 10 years we will win the Premier League. In 10 years we'll win the FA Cup. We'll get the players that we want. We'll get the fan base. We'll have sponsors that we would never have dreamed of. And sometimes because we had Shinawatra beforehand ownership, everyone was a little bit sceptical of how real it was. But then when we signed Robinho, that was the real turning point, because you come from Real Madrid, it's like, wow, we're actually mean business now. And I feel like he was a bit of a scapegoat because he came into not a great side and everyone expected him to score 2 or 3 every week. But for me, that was the turning point.
Are you talking about the players?
Yeah, everyone. But that was a turning point for me because people started to take us seriously then, at that point. And Khaldoon just said, this is our plan, and if you believe in the plan, we will get there. And the only thing in the plan, he said Champions League will take longer. And I'm not just saying that, he did say that because it's a harder competition to win. And that will come, that is in the plan.
What are you thinking from inside the dressing room, at that moment, you could say a watershed moment really, in terms of the investment coming in? I mean, did you think you would be part of that? Were the players inside the dressing room worried about whether they were going to be moved on? Because naturally, if they're saying we're bringing investment in,
all the players, it didn't go down well with some of the players. But at that time, I was playing for England, so in my head, if I'm playing for England, surely enough, I'm good enough to stay in the squad. And a lot of players backed their ability, and a lot of players who knew that they're going to have to leave. So it sort of split the dressing room a little bit, but ultimately we knew it was going to be best for the football club. And I speak to some Man City fans now, and they're like, oh, sometimes we like the old days just because the unpredictability of what the result's going to be and whatnot. But to win Premier Leagues, to win FA Cups, like you can't ask for much more than that. And yeah, it did divide the change room a little bit, because you're constantly looking over your shoulder and you don't know where your future's going to be.
I think Vincent Kompany comes in.
Vincent Kompany was just like, he'd been playing in English football for years. He fit straight in. He actually came as a centre midfielder. Everyone thinks he was some world-class centre-back, but he didn't. He actually didn't. He was similar to me. He came as a centre midfielder.
I think he played both though, didn't he? Because I played against him when he was a 17-year-old for Anderlecht in the Champions League. Yeah. And I didn't get a kick. And I did think, who is this guy? Phenomenal, because naturally you look at the team sheet, you think, blimey, I'm gonna bully him. And not that there's any great shakes keeping me in this. But I did think at that time. Yeah,
he was always going to be a superstar.
Watch, yeah.
He was definitely going to be a superstar. But when he come to Man City, we got him after he had an Achilles injury. So I think we only picked him up for like 6-7 million. Remember, 5-6-7 million. And when we played him at Hamburg in the pre-season before, he was playing number 10. playing number 10. He was doing skills in the middle of the park. So he was like, hold on, like he's massive. Big size, 11, 12 feet, doing skills. And he was actually all right doing them. And then, like, he played in a game against Arsenal away. And he's had probably, I don't know, 300 good performances for City. And that's his only bad one I've seen. He played centre midfield and he was awful. He couldn't control the ball. He'd had an injury of his toe and he had like his boot. And I've been able to get a picture of that actually. So he's like, his toe was sticking out of his boot. So every time he sort of touched the ball, it was hurting his toe. And he's playing centre midfield and he's got to be on half term all the time. So he had a stinker, but it was because of his toe. And everyone was like, you're not a centre midfielder. He got moved back. And when he got moved back, there was no replacing him because consistency, it was incredible. He could play out from the back. He was strong, aggressive, read it. He had absolutely everything.
You won the FA Cup
Yes.
first?
FA Cup first in 2011.
And was that did you feel it was a stepping stone to the Premier League, or were you just happy? I mean, it's a big deal, the FA Cup.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I think.
Although you only beat Stoke in the final.
We had to beat Man United in the semis, though. It was massive because it was for so long. It was 40 years without a trophy, and to be the first team to do that, and massive credit has got to go to Mancini because he come in and shook things up because there was a few egos creeping in, a few people on big wages creeping in, but he wasn't having it. It was like you play for us, and you play and give all that you give, or you leave. Simple as that. So when he brought the FA Cup to us for the first time, honestly, I can't thank him enough because he made me and the team a better player.
There was, I think it's been reported that, you know where I'm going with this, with Mancini, you had a good relationship, you and Balotelli, that you were his love child. I mean, is that fair?
That's fair to say. No, that's fair to say. But I wasn't at the start. Obviously, with a manager with that such experience in football, being a player, being a manager, when he comes into a team, no disrespect, he's probably not watched English football. He probably doesn't know who I am. You know what I mean? He's probably looking at, I'm coming to Man City, I've got loads of money to spend. I can look at the whole market, not just the English market. So when he first come, he didn't really take to me too much, but then it's about a week or so in, he's seen how hard I worked. Do you know what I mean? And he liked that straight away. Whereas Balotelli, it was more, he's seen how good his ability was, but he didn't work hard. Do you know what I mean? So he used to say to me, just tell him to work a bit harder like you, and you try to score some goals like him. And I'm like, I'm a defender. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? Yeah. And then we sort of just had a mutual respect for each other for that. After that, and it just carried forward. And yeah, I can't thank him enough.
Talk us through probably the greatest Premier League moment.
Yes.
In history, the way it came about. What was your feeling? I mean, I had a similar one when I won it with Blackburn, albeit we lost on the last day to Liverpool.
Yeah. I watched that. That was on Sky the other week.
Yeah, there was television around when it was made. I'm really not that much older. Really not that much older. But the overriding feeling was relief.
You know, it was bittersweet for me because it was annoying. It just sums up my career. I was starting right back. I started 29 games, played 30 odd games in that season when we won the league. A couple of games before Newcastle, I pulled my hamstring. They started winning all the games. And Mancini didn't change his team. If the team was doing well, didn't change it. So when I got injured, Zabaleta played, I think the last 4 or 5 games of the season. I'd come on, which was cool, because at that stage you just want to win it. It's not about personal accolades, you just want to win it. But that last game, I just wanted to play it so much. And if it would have been QPR, if it would have been a routine win, 1-0, 2-0, I would have come on because we'd normally go 1-0, 2-0, go to 5 at the back. It'd be me, Lescott, Kompany, three at the back, Zabaleta, Clichy or Kolarov for wing backs. So I thought, I'm definitely coming on here. You know, I'm happy. And then the game, obviously, we go 1-0 up. They go 1-1. Then they go 2-1. So at this stage, he's only looking at attacking players from the bench. So I'm like, I'm not even getting on. And I was just devastated. But then when Dzeko scored, that's when all your personal, you know, feelings go out the window. It's like, right, the team now, let's get behind the team no matter what. Forget what's going on, not playing. And then we started believing. Because he always used to do it at home, it was amazing. And if it was any man who could score that goal, it was Aguero. It was just, him and Tevez that season, even Balotelli, it was just incredible.
You're saying you expected it to happen?
Only when it got to 2-2. I didn't expect it. I expected us to. I didn't expect us to lose the game, but I did. But I didn't. I only expected to win when it went 2-2. You know, I thought the game might have went to 2-2. I knew it was.
What were you feeling like? I know you weren't playing.
I was more nervous. I was warming up on the side of the bench, and I just remember I was warming up on the side of the pitch with Balotelli, and he just said to me, "Don't worry, we're going to win this." He said, "Don't worry, I'm going to come on, I'm going to do something, I'm going to win this." No, even, see if I can get a video of it. I was warming up on the side, he said, "Don't worry." Because I was down, I could see my face, I was upset. Because it was, you know, for them big players, they was always going to win something, but player coming through the academy, it's rare, you know what I mean? So it meant so much more to me than it did them. And he said, "Don't worry." And that's the only assist that he had at Man City. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, these players are just special. And that's when I would just realise how lucky I am to be playing with these sort of players, because, you know, these like Balotelli, one of the greatest talents, Aguero, David Silva, Kompany, Yaya Toure, these players don't come about all the time. You know, if you look at your team, it's a fantastic team. You know, you actually were expected to win it though, wasn't you?
Well,
you was expected to win. Whereas,
we weren't expecting not the start of the season.
But you was. Come Christmas, you was probably favourite.
Trying to devalue our.
No, but I'm just saying in terms of your team was.
We were nine points clear.
Your team was obviously was a quality team.
You can say it. We nearly bottled it. Yeah, you can say it.
We didn't nearly bottle it, yeah. But for us to win it under Alex Ferguson's reign, and it was only goal difference. It wasn't my point. It was goal difference. That was it. That's what it just made it so much harder. You know what I mean? And we never expected to win a league that year. I mean, we expected challenge, but we never expected to win it. So it just come out as a little bit of surprise, and all the emotions, everything just, everything came out. You know, there's tears, there's joy, everything. It was just all that like you said before, all that you've worked for. It just come out, just relief, wasn't it? It was just like, you don't want to rest on your laurels, but at least you can say, I've done it now. You know what I mean? No matter what happens now, all that we've worked for, it's happened.
Yep.
And that was probably the best, along with my England debut, the best feeling ever, because the roller coaster of the, going down and coming back, it was just an incredible moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good talker. I knew you were a good talker.